So to some extent, yes, I am buying into what she wants us to do. She wants us to talk about her. She wants that. She is the type of narcissistic personality that would rather have people speak ill of her than not speak of her at all. I don't think that a normal functioning individual would be okay with living in that place. But she seems okay with it. Do I feel that it's fair to analyze and talk about her actions and what she says in a way to call out hypocrisy and also in a way to try to make myself better? Yeah, I do. She released that Netflix trailer for that cooking show that she's releasing. I mean, it was globally panned. Netflix did not turn the comments off for this trailer. It was insane. I think there was only maybe about 13K likes to all of those dislikes, over 100,000. Can't stop this tidal wave of criticism. No one is buying this anymore. No one's buying it anymore. And she knows this. When did the dog pass away? A lot of people are saying the dog passed away months ago, last fall in October. If you criticize her, you are a horrible, rotten person that is criticizing someone that just is grieving the loss of a beloved pet. And she is going to capitalize on that grief. She is going to remind you that she has cried tear after tear after tear in the shower. I've cried too many tears to count. The type of tears that make you get in the shower with the absurd hope that the running water on your face will somehow make you not feel them or pretend they're not there. But they are, and that's okay too. I am in a state of just complete and total devastation. Stop criticizing me. Watch my show so I can make money. She's not going away anytime soon. It seems like there is going to be even more drama playing out with this woman into the next year and probably the year beyond that and the year beyond that. It looks like a scene out of the apocalypse right now. It is just mind-boggling to see everything that's going on in California right now. Terrible, it's sad. But yet again, Just Call Me Harry and Princess Markle have now made yet again another appearance. This time they showed up in Pasadena at the Pasadena Convention Center, which is now being used as an evacuation point for victims in the area of the fires. Now, by all accounts, they showed up for 17 minutes and gave hugs, talked to victims, shook hands, helped pass out food and beverages, and talked to the mayor. And it just, again, seemed very performative. It seemed like a PR stunt.
This is, I'm being told, this is a live picture of course, that's Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, of course.
So giving out food.
She knows she's on camera right now.
There we have a better shot of Princess Markle as Meghan as she's wearing that LA ball.
They just called her Princess Markle, you guys. Did you hear that?
See, there we have a better shot of Princess Markle as Meghan as she's wearing that LA ball cap. And I'm sure they just wanted to come and offer support and well wishes as they are hanging out with the commoner.
I only gave him 4 cents for that nickel.
Support and well wishes. Let's talk about what you're doing specifically. Why aren't they on camera right now being interviewed by the reporter talking specifically about what they are doing?
They also have their Archwell Foundation named after their son Archie, and they're determining the most impactful ways to support those in need right now.
And don't think that they aren't there trying to get on camera, angling for future federal dollars that will be funneled to different charities and organizations like their Archwell Foundation. You know, they left the royal family, but they are out here performing as if they are American royalty, which they are not. We don't recognize titles and royalty in this country. It's like she always knows when there's a camera on her. She always knows. A lot of times when people like her show up like this, during times of crisis, the cameras inevitably focus on the celebrity, on the person that's famous, not on the people that are actually the victims. I mean, the people that are in charge of where this camera is being pointed right now should be pointing it and talking to actual victims, or talking to people that actually work for organizations like the American Red Cross that directly give money to people that need it. People like Harry and Meghan are here for publicity. I just feel like it's just damage control, damage control, damage control. She had that Netflix trailer that was not received well. She's always facing the camera, isn't she? She's always facing the camera.
She's getting down and dirty. She truly wants to help.
She's getting down and dirty, you guys. She's standing by a table with Cokes and Sprites. She's getting down and dirty. They don't want to talk to the press because they don't want to have an interview go viral and have them be roasted for, seeing as exploiting the situation. So they want to be filmed being sympathetic and hugging and shaking hands and helping, to pass out beverages and food and whatnot. But they can't take the risk of actually speaking on camera, because if they do, they know they would be roasted.
Okay, we're getting body checked, though. Mayor, do you want to say a couple words? Can we grab you briefly? Sure. How is it to have Prince Harry and Princess Markle here, Meghan here?
There they go again with the Princess Markle. You know she hates that, by the way. You can do all of these things. Harry and Meghan can do all of these things off camera. Why on camera? Why the cameras constantly? Narcissists trying to steal the spotlight, trying to get sympathy, trying to get the focus back on them, but for all of the wrong reasons. It seems like everything was getting worse and worse. It's been at a feverish peak pretty much since the beginning of January. So what we have now is just this tidal wave of relentless negative press concerning Harry and Meghan. Is Vanity Fair, now they're releasing an article that is basically talking about all of the things that have been happening since they arrived on American shores and how their brand has completely been fading since that time. And it's titled Inside Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Big Business Ambitions, 5 years after their royal exit. Ensconced in their cozy Montecito mansion, the Sussexes are living the American dream. By all accounts, the love is real. But their foray into moguldom has not always been a smooth ride. The writer seems really hell-bent on telling you all about their wonderful Montecito mansion, the property, how much it's worth. A normal person reads this and they think, okay, like no one cares about how rich they are, especially coupled with all the infuriating things that they have done in the press just in the last month alone. Their approach to business in the last 5 years since Megxit, since they left the royal family, has been altogether scattered and unpredictable and just unfruitful, in the sense that there hasn't really been any type of real success. The development process was challenging, the former Spotify employee said. They had this idea to do a podcast because they knew celebrities did them. The former Spotify employee says Harry and Meghan didn't do what celebrities do on podcasts, which is turn on the mic and talk. They wanted a big theme that would explain the world, but they had no ideas. It would be nearly 2 years between the couple's deal being signed and the premiere of Archetypes. Spotify began applying pressure to produce something, anything that people might listen to. Harry apparently wanted to host a series where he interviewed powerful men with complicated stories like Mark Zuckerberg, Putin, and Donald Trump. Another concept was that Harry would fix something every week, ranging from a flat tire to global warming. He wanted to do a podcast about disabled people who compete in the Invictus Games, but there's no crossover between the audience who would listen to that and the people who wanted to hear about Harry's life. The former Spotify employee says it was challenging to engage Harry, and a person who interviewed for a job with the couple says, I just felt like he kind of didn't want to be there doing this at that time. My expectation was charming receiving line, and it was clear he wasn't that person, at least that day. So I'm getting the vibe that Harry still believes that he's a full-time working member of the royal family. Just meeting with the people and just, his presence is going to be inspiring enough that the ideas are just going to flow. He doesn't have to produce any, mind you, but the ideas are just going to flow and he's going to either accept or reject them. But you're in America now, boss. People expect you to sing for your supper. Bill Simmons, when he described his own experience working with the Sussexes at Spotify, and he was talking about how he would do a show with them if he could, called The Effing Grifters. That's the podcast we should have launched with them, he said. Simmons also goes on to say, quote, I have got to get drunk one night and tell the story of the Zoom I had with Harry to try and help him with a podcast idea. It's one of my best stories. F them, the grifters. This is not good, you guys. This is not good. And it says, Harry and Meghan became increasingly nervous about how their content would impact them. I think it's a combination of self-censorship for good reason. Those things make it really hard to make good stuff. He has a million things that he has to protect, and he has the book and they have the documentary, and they don't want to make the Queen upset and their public image. So it's like they're chasing all of these things to try to make money and be relatable, but yet they are hiding behind a glass wall saying that we're real and we're relatable, but only on our terms. And if you try to criticize us in any way, we will deflect, we will call you out. Even the idea for the Archetype podcast came from another employee, not Meghan. From a Spotify source, it says, quote, Archetypes was complicated as a podcast concept. You had to explain what the archetype was, then why the woman embodied it, but also how it wasn't true about her. Every episode got more and more watered down and further away from actual conversation. It felt very like Women's Studies and Gender Studies 101 taught in 2003. All the things she was talking about seemed very dated. I mean, she was using references to old 2 Live Crew song from the early 90s or from the first Austin Powers movies to talk about gender stereotypes about women. This is probably something that was spouted to her from a professor at Northwestern back in the early 2000s. To have these Spotify sources say that they felt the same, and it was like these platitudes and these ideas that she was throwing out, but they weren't really thought through. To have that be pointed out is particularly scathing, in my opinion. Very early March of 2021, the press in Britain was reporting that Buckingham Palace was going to be investigating claims about incidences of bullying between Meghan and her staff. And they basically said that they were taking it very seriously, that they were going to look into the claims. Of course, Meghan claps back on the claims, calling it a smear campaign, saying, that she herself had been a victim of bullying, and it was particularly troubling for her to have those same types of allegations thrown at her. Now, since they have been stateside for the past 5 years and dumped at the very least 19 employees that have been with them, that there are now rumblings about bullying here in America by Meghan to her staff. The article says the person who worked in media projects read stories in the tabloids about Meghan bullying palace aides and couldn't imagine such behavior actually happened. After working with her, though, the person realized, any given Tuesday this happened. While it beggars belief that Meghan actually shouted at a palace aide, as it has been reported, I don't know why it would beggar belief, but anyway, a person who interacted with her professionally says, you can be yelled at even if somebody doesn't raise their voice. It's funny that people don't differentiate between the energy of being yelled at and literally someone screaming at you. Releasing private text messages between the Princess of Wales and his wife, or discussing private conversations with him and his brother William. He seems incapable of understanding how that could create bad blood or a rift between his family, which by all accounts doesn't really speak of a lot of personal accountability. The article also talks about how her American Riviera Orchard company has really been not able to get off the ground. In March 2024, she created a whole Instagram account for it with a crest for the company, but no website to direct people to. There's nothing available for sale. She's been met with trademark problems, applications being denied, and now it comes to the final question: what are they going to do? Can two continents be completely smearing her, this unfounded campaign against her, or is there truth to these claims? How your life can be lie after lie after lie and just fall apart like a house of cards. She can continue to clap back and call any and all criticism of her just a smear campaign, or she can do what I really think she should, which is apologize, atone, and just try to move on and repair her life. And I'm not even talking about repairing her reputation, because in my opinion, repairing her reputation should be the absolute least of her worries. All her business ventures and dealings should be the last thing on this woman's mind. Stop trying to angle for public support and for public sympathy. Stop trying to succeed in business. That is not the most important thing at stake here. Right now, what's important is her very soul. Personally, if I was her, I would go to Netflix and just tell Netflix, look, I know what's going to happen if I release this show. It's not going to be received well. Let's just scrap the whole thing. If you want to pay me half, fine, whatever. But I think it's a lose-lose for both, because if she really tries to push Netflix to go forward with this, it's not going to work, because no one's going to want to watch this show. It's just going to get even worse for her. They just need to cut their losses. Nothing good is coming out of this association with Netflix for Netflix or Harry and Meghan.
Nailed it.
Told that something arrived that I had been waiting for. Oh my god. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, when my husband and I were in Altadena, we went to a community where all the homes were left in ashes. This mom had found a couple things, and as I was talking to her, I turned and looked and I saw this young woman, and I said, oh my gosh, how old are you? She's 15. She lives there. And her mom shared something with me and said that when they came back to see their house for the first time, which was as we were meeting them, that all that she'd been looking for in her home was the t-shirt from the Billie Eilish concert that she had just gone to, that she left in the washing machine or the dryer. And of course, they now see their home and the washing machine and the dryer are ash. They're not there anymore. And so I said, well, I don't know Billie Eilish, but I'm going to figure out how to get you this shirt. So I thought of everybody that I knew, and I made a voice note, and I was like, please, can someone get this voice note to Billie Eilish? Here's what I'm asking. You guys, I don't even know what all of this stuff means, but it's signed for her. Is that a thing? The lunchbox thing? I don't know. This is when I feel really old. Huge thank you, Billie Eilish. This is going to mean so much to her. And honestly, to Adam Levine and Bahati, you guys helped get this over the line. To everyone who's showing up for people in big and small ways to get through what's happened in California, just thank you so much. I'm going to go and email her mom now. Just wanted to share that with you guys.
Okay, so just in watching that clip, which was a little over 1 minute and 30 seconds, I think I counted 13 jump cuts in a video that's under 2 minutes. So this was undoubtedly rehearsed, because there's no other explanation for having that many jump cuts in a 2-minute clip. This video is supposed to be spontaneous, and it's supposed to be her exuberance over finding these items that she had been waiting for, and she was just told. So meaning her people, her servants, whoever they are, because she's a duchess, okay, people, they laid it all out for her, and it's all waiting for her. So she's running, squealing. Maybe that's why she's out of breath. I don't know, but she's very, very excited in this clip, you guys.
Oh my God.
This video here reminds me of when these MLM moms are super excited because they're trying to generate hype around the latest drop from their MLM, the latest product. So they make a video that is the unboxing of the product, or they're so happy to show it to you. That's what I thought.
About 2 or 3 weeks ago, when my husband and I were in Altadena, we went to...
So you notice what she's doing right here. She's owning it. She's owning it. She knows what everyone said about them being disaster tourists, her and Harry. She's owning it. She is almost shoving it back in your face, doubling down on it, as if to say, we were there. Yes, we were there. We know we got flack over it, but I'm just still going to tell this story because I'm here to do good. So we were there and we went to a community where everything was in ashes. Okay.
Went to a community where all the homes were left in ashes. This mom had found a couple.
Why the jump cut there? What community? Give us a little bit of backstory, because she's under such a microscope because of what she did when she went to Pasadena, met with the mayor, did all that, got all that backlash.
Left in ashes. This mom had found a couple things, and as I was talking to her, I turned and looked and I saw this.
Now she's there talking with a mom, okay? A mom who had found a couple things. So she just got finished telling us that the community is in complete and total ashes. So what is the mom finding? And if you watch other reports and things, when the fires were raging, but they haven't been allowed back. And that's why her and Harry got so much flack when they went to visit those areas, because the people that lived in those areas were very angry, saying, we can't even get in there. So why are those two foos going in with the mayor touring our properties? Possibly walking on, keepsakes or heck, even bodies. No one knew. I don't even think people still know. So what is she talking about? See what I mean? And if you'll notice, she is very vague on things that you would want to know, but she over expands on details where you don't really care. And that is the trademark. That's what a lot of narcissistic liars do. But when you want them to be specific, they cannot be specific.
A community where all the homes were left in ashes. This mom had found a couple things, and as I was talking to her, I turned and looked and I saw this young woman, and I said, oh my gosh, how old are you? She's 15. She lives there. And her mom shared...
Why is she clapping her hands? Why is she so excited? I mean, she's actually talking about a mom and supposedly the mom's teenage daughter going through the rubble that was their life. Does anybody with 2 brain cells to rub together actually think that when the family was there in the rubble of their home, that's what the mom was really talking about? I'm not buying her version of it because she's embellishing it if it did indeed happen. What I think happened was, if she did indeed meet this mother and this daughter going through the rubble of their home, as they were talking, the mom probably mentioned in passing about this shirt. She's trying to make it seem as if that was the entire focus. That was why the mom and the daughter were there, just like on a mission for this shirt. She did not learn one thing from the backlash that she received a couple of weeks ago. She's doubling down, and she is trying to plead with you. She's literally trying to grab us by the collar and plead with us, like stare us down and be like, you have to believe me. I'm here to do good. I'm here to do good. Love me.
I'm going to figure out how to get you this shirt. So I thought of everybody that I knew.
Okay, that's another thing. Billie Eilish is a ginormous singer, and she's got a website where she sells all of her merchandise. What would have stopped Mrs. Duchess of Sussex here from going on Billie's website and just buying out the website, buying everything Billie had for this daughter and just quietly sending it off to the mom to give to the daughter? She's acting like these t-shirts are only sold at the concert and that's the only place that you can get them. And if you were at the concert and you didn't get a t-shirt, too bad, so sad, you're Dunsky. It's like, come on. Come on.
So I thought of everybody that I knew, and I made a voice note, and I was like, please, can someone get this voice note to Billie Eilish? Here's what I'm asking.
See, this is Megan's plea. This is Megan's plea. She is the only person in the world that is going to do anything for this family. And she's going to do it in the form of a Billie Eilish t-shirt. And one of the most funny comments I read over the last couple days, I forgot what video it was. Someone wrote, yeah, so she's going to get this t-shirt in the end and it's going to say my house burned down and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. I mean, really? Really? Doesn't know what they are, but she's really, really happy that they just showed up because her servants laid them out for her on a table so she could film this rehearsed Instagram video so she could show what a saint she is.
Just thank you so much. I'm going to go and email her mom now. Just wanted to share that with you guys.
Okay, you're going to email the mom. So you are making a video for your supposed 1.6 real fans that you don't pay for on Instagram. And you're going to tell all of them first before you tell the mom and the daughter who this is what the story is about. The mom and the daughter, not this raving lunatic. Just quietly do all of this behind the scenes without having to tell anybody. Or just donate some money to the family. She looks manic. She looks wild-eyed. She looks manic. She looks out of breath. I don't know who she has advising her. I don't know if she has anybody left at this point, but she does not seem all there. She seems very, very out of it. She looks like she needs rest. And what's weird is this is not on brand for her. Even when she was with the TIG, I'll tell you why. Everything is scripted. Whether it's an interview, whether it's appearance, whether it's her website, whatever she is doing, Netflix, whatever, her podcast, everything is scripted. Everything is carefully calculated. So when this woman resorts to this type of stuff, you know that she's doing it even despite her own better judgment. I think she's compelled. She feels compelled to do it because she hasn't been getting any attention for 2 weeks.
Well, hello, you. Hi, everybody. How are we feeling?
So here we are. We knew it was coming. We knew in February 2025 the Invictus Games were going to happen in Whistler, British Columbia, Canada. Everyone was speculating, is Megan going to go to the games? Is she not going to go to the games? I had personally hoped and made a plea that she would stay behind and attend to her children and just lay low, considering the enormous amount of backlash the woman has been receiving. No, she did show up. She did arrive for the opening ceremony. She made a speech on stage that was apparently unplanned, and she introduced her husband, her beloved husband, to the audience. All the usual suspects, the typical rag mags that are on the payroll for this couple, already releasing their puff pieces all over the internet. And People's article is titled, Meghan Markle shares candid family story in unplanned speech about Prince Harry at the Invictus Games reception. Are you guys ready for Meghan's opening day Invictus speech? This was the welcoming ceremony.
Well, hello, you. Hi, everybody. How are we feeling? So I was not planning on speaking tonight, and we just arrived, I don't know, a couple hours ago, and I touched Canadian soil, and I went, oh, feels like home. We are so excited. We also recognize most of you are probably so exhausted from how much travel you've done, how much adrenaline you have pumping, how excited you are for what is going to be one of the most outstanding, memorable, unforgettable, and connected weeks probably for you and for your families. We are just thrilled to be here, and I would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to introduce someone who means a lot to me, and I know means quite a lot to all of you. You will see him throughout this week. You will see him at the games. He'll be going down that, what is that? Is it the luge? Oh my gosh, you guys, the thing that I will never do. My husband will probably do 3 times because he wants to be there with you. He is in it with you. And you'll see him through all of those moments. He'll be there with you. What you won't have seen is all of the moments that have happened in the lead up to these games. All the moments where, as you know, with families, the big rush in the morning and getting ready for school and packing the lunch boxes and making breakfast, and my husband's in all of that with us. And then he'll be on his phone and Archie will say, Papa, why are you on your phone? He's like, because it's Invictus. I'm getting ready for Invictus. It means so much to him. You are his family, just as we are his family. And I hope you recognize how much of his heart he has poured into every single beat that has gotten all of you to this week that is going to be spectacular. I need you to know that. I need you to know how much it means to him and how much each of you means to him. So it is my entire pleasure and complete honor to introduce to the stage my husband, the father of our very sweet, excited children who are cheering you on from California, Prince Harry, founder of the Invictus Games, the Duke of Sussex.
Let's go back a little bit. First of all, I don't know why I've got this huge grin on my face. I mean, because it's actually really, really sad to watch, but I don't know why.
Hi, everybody. How are we feeling? So
It doesn't really seem that big. To me, it kind of seems like a high school auditorium-ish type of vibe. I don't know. What do you guys think? I didn't think the applause was
was not
thunderous or
planning
anything
on
like
speaking
that.
tonight, and we just arrived.
Okay. She wasn't planning on speaking
Well,
tonight,
I
you
was
guys.
not planning on speaking tonight, and we just
Is there anyone here that believes that? Is there anyone here that believes that this woman did not plan on speaking?
arrived, I don't know, a couple hours ago, and I touched Canadian soil, and I went, oh, feels like home.
Now, here's something that Megan does all the time. I've noticed with her is she always brings it back to herself. People have pointed that out so many times, but it is true. Everything is I. It's all of these I statements. I. I touched down on Canadian soil. We just got here. I think it's her attempt to be relatable, or I guess the only way she feels she can be relatable to others is to constantly bring it back to herself. And that's very off-putting to a lot of people.
We are so excited. We also recognize most of you are probably so exhausted from how much travel you've done, how excited you are for what is going to be.
So at least right there, she's acknowledging a little bit about what everyone had to do to get there. But everyone who is participating has to pay their own way, their own lodging, their own transportation. Whereas
the
you know
most
who and her
outstanding,
husband
memorable,
gets everything free when they go.
and connected weeks probably
Why that's
for
allowed,
you
I have
and for
no
your
idea.
families. We are just thrilled to be here, and I would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to introduce someone who means a lot to me.
Now, here's the thing. She could have shown up in a capacity that was just a supportive wife. In that video, I talk about how Catherine possesses a feminine grace and quiet dignity. When she is out in any type of appearance with her husband, she never assumes the center, or tries to assume center stage. She never inserts herself in front of her husband. And that's how it's always been. And what's really funny is a lot of times William will gesture for her to go do something first, but she's not pushing herself in front by any means. Her pushed and insinuated herself in front of her husband since the very beginning. And this is so evident in this particular instance because this is his charity that he started before she even arrived on the scene. If she wanted to be supportive, she could have been supportive. There's no reason why her to be on a stage right now introducing Prince Harry. Everybody knows who Prince Harry is. It's not necessary for her to introduce him. So this is a perfect example of her making sure that she is insinuating herself. But yet she tries to make it seem as if she's gracious. She tries to make it seem as if she hadn't planned on doing it. Like what? Someone pushed her onto the stage and said, Megan, everyone loves you so much and wants to see so much of you that please come up on this stage. No, of course not. Of course that's not what happened. She wants to be there. She wants to be on that stage. And she wants to be Captain Obvious and introduce her husband to everybody in the room. Everyone already knows who he is. Everyone already knows. We don't need her to tell us. We don't need you to tell us, Megan.
And I know means quite a lot to all of you. You will see him throughout this week. You will see him at the
Again, you don't have to tell us that. You don't have to tell us. We all know that this is Harry's deal. This is his event. This is his baby. This is what he loves. You don't have to tell us that Harry's going to be there participating. We know, Megan. We know.
games. You will see him probably curling with you, cheering you on, and we'll
And what are you going to be doing on the sidelines? You're just going to be flashing the veneers and showing us your clothes and merching at every opportunity. It's just the amount of money that was spent on this woman's wardrobe in the last few times that she's made these appearances, at least $500,000 each different year for each separate game. Why? Why is that allowed? Why are they allowing this woman to insinuate herself like this, spend all this money for what? This is not a Megan fashion show. This is supposed to be about the veterans participating, the disabled veterans participating. It's just infuriating.
he'll be going down that. What is that? Is it the luge? Oh my gosh!
And she's always in
guys, the
these like
thing that I
weird
will
train
never
of thought
do,
type
my
things
husband
as
will
she's
probably
up
do 3
there,
times
wasting
'cause he wants to
everyone's
be there with
time
you.
talking about, oh, the luge, I would never do that, but he'd do that. I mean, she's going on and on all the time about these things that nobody cares about. Why are you there? Flashing your shoulders yet again.
He'll be there with you. What you won't have seen is all of the moments that have happened in the lead up to these games. Is the big rush in the morning and getting ready for school and packing the lunch, and my husband's in all of that with us. And then he'll be on his phone and Archie will
What is she talking about? Why is she making it about yet again her and Harry and their family? It should not be about them. You would never, ever in a million years see William or Catherine or the Duchess of Edinburgh, Sophie, or Prince Edward, or any of them talking at length about their journey, their thoughts when they touch down. And if they do share personal, private things, it's in a different capacity. For example, in my editing of my Catherine video, when she released her video last fall about, being done with her treatment and moving forward, it was a video that was specifically talking about her family and what they had been through in the entire cancer journey. But it was just for that moment. It was something private that they chose to share, but it wasn't meshed in and intermingled with an official event like this. Her attempts to be relatable all the time and to bring it about or bring it back to her and Harry and their family always fall flat because it's not about her and Harry and these invisible children right now. It's about everyone in the audience right now. And she just doesn't get it. She does not get it.
Papa, why are you
Hold on, I'll go back a little bit.
on breakfast and my husband's in all of that with us. And then he'll be on his
She's taken this opportunity to tell everyone sitting there that it's a big rush in the morning, getting everyone ready for school, and Harry's so involved in it. Okay. Every single person in that audience is involved with their families and having to do all those things and had to make crazy sacrifices to be there. And everything up to that point, it's not about them. It's not about their family. She uses every opportunity she can to try to endear herself to the public, to try to seem relatable, to try to insert these informal, kind of like off the cuff, cool, private family moments. And she's sharing them with you so that you'll somehow find her more relatable and like her more. But this is not the time and this is not the place, Megan.
and then he'll be on his phone and Archie will say, Papa, why are you on your phone? He's like, because it's Invictus. I'm getting ready for Invictus. It means so much to him. You are
Papa, why are you on the phone? Why are you never paying attention to me? Why do you and Mama travel so much and leave us behind so much? A lot of people were speculating that they were going to bring the children because her publicity or her, I don't know if you could call it publicity, her backlash over the last month has been so severe that maybe she was going to unveil these kids because maybe if she trotted them out, they're real and we can see them and maybe things would be positive, but she didn't trot them out. I personally think that they're not in their care. That's just me. And I personally think that her narcissism would not allow anybody to steal the spotlight from her, not even her own children. So these are all attempts to make herself seem more likable and more relatable. And it's not working.
poured into every single beat that has gotten all of you to
How about everything that these people that are sitting there watching her babble on, everything they've had to go through to get there? Let's talk about them, Megan. Let's make it about these wounded veterans that are playing these games. Let's talk about them. Why don't you share an anecdote or a story about a family in the audience? Have you taken any time to get to know about who these participants are, what they're all about, what they had to go through to get here? No, all about her.
Heart, I need you to know that. I need you to know how much it means to him and how much
We
each of
know.
you means to
We
him.
know.
So it is
We
my
know how much it
int-
means to her to be able to have this opportunity to have a microphone in front of her and to help us see the light where she's concerned. Remember? She's like Meredith Grey. Pick me, choose me, love me.
higher pleasure and complete honor to introduce to the stage my husband, the father of our.
And that's another thing. Do you know that that is a narcissistic trademark where they rarely refer to people by their names? They're always nicknames or they're always these weird little um they don't say their names. If you say their name, you give them power and they are something to be
Complete honor
controlled. So
to
they don't.
introduce to the stage my husband, the father of our very sweet, excited children, Prince Harry, founder of the Invictus Games, the Duke of Sussex.
So you guys just need to gear up and get ready because there's going to be another week of this. Every single day we're going to be inundated. There's going to be something going on. She's going to be wearing something. She's going to be merching something. Just buckle in, people. That's all I can say. Buckle in. Get ready for the Meghan show happening live. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know. I'm definitely going to have something. I don't know. Just buckle up, folks. A normal celebrity or public figure who receives the amount of backlash that this woman has been receiving over the last month, they probably would listen to PR advisors, lay low, and just kind of give everyone a chance to just, take a breather from them. But what I think she's doing here and now, showing up to the games, it's almost as if to say that she is very strong and is personally shielding herself from all the criticism that is completely not warranted, because she feels like any and all criticism against her is unwarranted and just bullying. So if she shows this kind of face as if she's immune to it and she's above it, that's the angle that she can play. This woman doesn't experience shame. This woman has not learned anything from being labeled a disaster tourist. She didn't learn anything from even a few days ago from posting that ridiculous video on Instagram where it's that shameless self-promotion talking about how she single-handedly rescued a 15-year-old girl's emotional and mental well-being by providing her with a Billie Eilish t-shirt. When I'm talking about shameless self-promotion, I don't think I've seen anything that out of touch and just grandiose and like self-congratulatory and I don't know how long. When you give, you should give quietly. Like the Bible tells us, the right hand should not know what the left hand is doing, especially when it's something as small as a t-shirt, but she has to go make a video on it. She is going to continue to prop herself up and push herself in front of cameras, in front of the public, as if to say, I'm immune to criticism, but the criticism is unwarranted. So that's why I'm pushing forward. I really do think that's how she's rectifying it in her mind. I think that most of the people online and on YouTube that criticize Meghan Markle don't hate her. What we do is we pity her, and what we also want to continue to do is call her out on her lies, her half-truths, and her inconsistencies, because there are so many things involving Harry and Meghan that just do not add up, that don't make any sense. And when you insinuate yourself in the public eye as much as they do, you have to understand that you will be held accountable to a certain extent. I mean, you will have people calling you out on what they deem to be a lot of BS going on. But it's at least his charity, the one that he had before she even came on the scene. Technically, it was William, Catherine, and and Harry's charity, but I digress. Now it's strictly his. But what I'm saying is it becomes less him and more about her. But even more important than that, it becomes more about those two and less about the actual veterans that are there, that had to pay their way to get there, their own transportation, their own accommodations, while these two fools have everything taken care of. All they have to do is show up and smile. And to have it become less and less about veterans, these injured veterans, is really, really a crime.
Well, hello, you. Hi, everybody. How are we feeling? Great. So I was not planning on speaking tonight, and we just arrived, I don't know, a couple hours ago, and I touched Canadian soil, and I went, oh, feels like home. We are so excited. We also recognize most of you are probably so exhausted from how much travel you've done, how much adrenaline you have pumping, how excited you are for what is going to be one of the most. We are just thrilled to be here, and I would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to introduce someone who means a lot to me, and I know means quite a lot to all of you.